Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Bloodborne. Just as promised, we're gonna get things kicked off by starting our tour through Old Yharnam, cause hey, it seems like a pretty darn cool place and I really want to explore it a little bit more, so why not? Get some more blood vials, that's always good, right? You know, whenever you have 6 blood vials, you know life is gonna be just peachy. And you can notice something really cool right from the get-go. So notice how this guy is backing away from us. That is because we have the torch on. You can see he's actually really aggressive if not, but oh. Now he's afraid of the flame. We can actually do a half-decent amount of damage to him just from the torch, actually. So the torch is very viable in this area as an offensive weapon, which is pretty cool, actually. I really like that. It's very similar to Dark Souls 2, where I forget what the creatures are called, those giant things with the big arms in No Man's Wharf. That same effect is taking place here, so hey, borrowing a little concept from a not as loved game, but hey, it was a nice mechanic, so I'm down for it, why not? Ooh, another one sneaking up on us. It's like there's a lot of beasts here or something. I wonder why. It's almost like they told us about this, isn't it? Burn. So satisfied doing that. I definitely recommend having your torch for this whole area. It is fantastic. Alright, but let's keep on going. We need some progress. Last episode was a lot of talking and lore stuff. This episode, we may as well get some actual stuff, right? And some bloodstone shards, that'll be good for us. So, especially in the early game, you want to make sure you're getting basically every single bloodstone shard you can find, because they really aren't too common until after Old Yharnam. Actually, Old Yharnam you start getting some, but it's really only until after that you can really start upgrading your weapon. So, definitely for the early game, you want to try and collect as much as you can to make your life.
Adept, merciless, half cut with blood, as the best hunters are.
And that's a really cool phrasing that he used. Half cut with blood. So keep that in mind. What on earth could that mean? We know we had a blood infusion earlier in the game, as in right at the start of the game. So I'm guessing it's referring to that, you would figure. But it's a very interesting thing, so that means that not all hunters are given this type of blood. And somehow he can tell that we are cut from this blood without actually being like right next to us or anything. So some really cool stuff there. There's probably some good implications for it, you would imagine, right? Doo-doo-doo.
Which is why I must stop you.
Uh-oh. And you can see that's where our friend is. He also has a Gatling gun or machine gun or whatever you want to call those things. So that's a first for a Souls game, and it makes a really cool, interesting section right ahead. This is actually, I think Old Yardim is one of my favorite places, just because of this mechanic. So basically you have to find areas where you're not going to get savagely ripped apart by this gun that can do massive amounts of damage to you if you get hit by it. All the while dealing with all the enemies and exploring a new area and everything else. It leads to some pretty stressful events. So you're going to see I'm going to run in here and, do exactly the opposite of what I wanted. Oh, okay, well, you know, things are going so well. We may as well throw it up by putting a fireball as well. But you can see, so all those pots are explosive. We're going to trigger them again. Come in. There we go. As I'm still getting hit by it. Oh, jeez. And we're gonna run right out of here so he doesn't explode more barrels on us. And most people run straight into this just to add more insult by having all the birds come at you at once. I love this game. Great traps. But, so yeah, this is Old Yharnam. So you can see it actually goes down pretty far, and we actually get to explore basically almost everything that we see in this area. We go down pretty far in here, which is pretty cool. Oops. Got some enemies over here that we may as well deal with now. Most people, of course, don't see this, so they end up getting surprise attacked on the back. which is always great. And oh, there we go, nice little jump scare, because, you know, we're playing a horror game. We need a couple of them, right? Come on. There we go. These guys also like to hug you, and it's not pleasant when they do. When beasts give hugs, they just don't understand the mechanics for it. They're just stronger than they think, and usually they end up killing you. Such a tragedy. This guy's really cool. So, aw, I missed him. Darn it. There's one guy that comes over here and he, like, baits you on. He, like, looks like he's coming at you, and then he just runs away into the smoke right here. So it got some alright AI, actually. And basically what that guy's doing is baiting you into the machine gun, but also baiting you into this magical trap of a gajillion more beasts all charging you at once. So the biggest hurdle in this area is, of course, the Gatling gun is the biggest one, but the second one is, more often than not, the enemies themselves aren't ridiculously powerful, but there's so many of them, and they're all clustered around. And when you get like 3 of these guys on you at once, you could see even 2 people attacking me almost took down 3/4 of my health in a half a second. I couldn't do anything about it. When you have 3 of those guys or more, sometimes you can have like 5 of them all at once. It's not a good day. You're probably gonna either be dead or not enjoying your life if you're still alive, either way. And we gotta watch out because we can still get hit by the Gatling gun here, but you can kind of block it if you go behind this statue. The fun being that there are 2 guys that are also coming to rip your head off. So we want to kill one. Treat until the machine gun's gone. Oh, not too far. Oh god.
Well, the next time you dream, give some thought.
Alright, you guys, and we are back. You can see that little jerk has our blood, which I really want. So we're gonna get that back, because... Oh my god, no! Now I'm all turned around, that's why. Oy boy, oh boy, oh boy, this Gatling gun, it makes you sad. And you can see we have a good old friend, Mr. Hunter, who are basically like your red phantoms or black phantoms in the game. So this is NPC controlled, which is fantastic. And he tries to make your day not as fun. So hopefully, if we play our cards right, we can do this. Basically what you want to do is get this guy as staggered as possible, because what happens is... No! Ah, damn it. What you want to do is bait him, because he runs back over there, as you can see, and that is an area where you will get hit by the Gatling gun. So he's a little tricky. He's a little tricky jerk. And yeah. We might be killing him, we might not. It just depends if he wants to come over here. Because I don't want to deal with our friend the Gatling gun guy just yet. And there's some reasons for that. We'll get to them. It won't be for a little while longer in the game. Yeah, I don't think he's coming. Maybe? Are you gonna come? Maybe? Maybe? Hey, there we go. Okay. If he wants to be cooperative, though, we can definitely try our best to kill him. Yes, I know this is a cheap tactic, but you know what? He is cheaper because all he wants to do is... There we go. All he wants to do is run back there, so if you don't actually corner him, there is basically no way of killing him without getting just destroyed by the Gatling gun guy. So we're going to kill him, and that is all there is to it. Let's read that item description, though. So, Bone Marrow Ash, additional medium that strengthens Quicksilver bullets. According to the workshop, this is a special bone marrow ash collected from Hemwick Charnel Lane, invaluable to hunters with weak blood tinge who require the use of stronger firearms. So basically what this is if you apply it to yourself, the next thing that you use that uses a bullet or uses blood tinge is going to do double damage. Or double damage or 1.5 damage. I forget which one. Either way, it does a good chunk of damage, so there's some builds that actually fully take advantage of that by doing a really powerful Blood Hinge shot and beforehand finishing up with that. Now we're going to try something really dumb, because there's an item I want to get, and it involves having to run through this horrible area where we're going to have machine gun fire the whole time. So that's great. And if we play our cards right, we might not die. And if we don't play our cards right, we're definitely gonna die. And so we should have some fun along the way. We will see. Okay. Oh geez. Oh geez. Okay, we're almost there. Oh no! There we go. Tricked you guys. You don't have to actually jump onto that one. You just have to make that first jump. And then you're all okay, and you can fall down here. And again, this is one of those areas that just feels like you're like glitching out the game if you actually get to here, but it is intended. It is intended. And we get some fun in this building. This is a fun, good times building. You'll see why. Take that. We're just gonna throw some fire. Because, hey, it lights up the place, so, right, it has to be good. There we go, so notice that we've killed 3 guys, 4 guys, 5, 6 guys. And the best part is if you take them down slowly, they all get to the bottom. Oh, there's guy number 7. So 7 guys on you now if you haven't been killing them quick enough. 8 guys. Oh, we have another one back there, so 9 guys. Oh, and that one's a bigger one. Oh, and he tried to give me a hug. I should probably get some stamina. There we go. There we are. So yeah, 9 guys stuck in this little room, and all of them can get to that bottom floor pretty darn quickly. So if you're just running around scared or anything else, you can get swarmed and eaten pretty quick. But we get a nice chest as our reward, so we'll take that. What do we get? Tempering blood gemstone. Hey, we'll take it. May as well, right? And we also get a couple other cool things around here. First one that we like to get is a little bit of lore stuff, actually, which is always good. We always like our lore. So we get a note. The red moon hangs low, and beasts rule the streets. Are we left no other choice than to burn it all to cinders? And this is very similar to the other note that was in the building right after the lamppost that said they burned down Old Yharnam on that red moon hanging night. And we also get the Charred Hunter's Garb, Charred Hunter's Gloves, and Charred Hunter's Trousers. This is a pretty cool set as well. Let's take a look at it. Charred Hunter's Garb. One of the staple articles of hunter attire fashioned at the workshop, a product of the scourge of the beast that once plagued Old Yharnam and oh my god, I can't read, and culminated in the town's fiery cleansing. The cape's dampness make it highly resistant to fire, whereas of this attire hunted down victims of the scourge who survived the raging flames and stench of singed blood. So basically, it seems like they burnt this whole thing down to the ground, and then hunters came afterwards to make sure that this whole thing was taken care of. Clearly, it didn't work, though, because there are still beasts everywhere, so kind of failed a little bit, unfortunately. But basically, they did a full quarantine and wiping out of this area. So whatever this Ashen Blood is, it was clearly a huge threat to the rest of Yharnam. And they're doing their best to get rid of it as any way they can. Oops. Come in. Hello. Be my friend. Wonder how that guy got up there. That's odd, right? Oh, and you can hear our guys, so they scream. And when they scream, these guys actually augment the power of the other ones, along with attract other beasts over to the area. So all in all, it's not the greatest thing to have happen to you. Perfect. Got that. There's a really cool thing over here, though. This is a really neat one. So we've got this whole area down here, and we're actually going to be going down here a little bit later. But you can see just these gargantuan cathedrals. But it's a little dark. We don't like everything being that dark, right? Like, it's a little silly, so... Oops. Come on. Which one is it? I have to remember. It's been a little while since I played this, apparently. Oh, they're screaming. Where is it? Is it on the top? Yeah, it's on the top. Alright, scratch that. We're eventually getting there. We're gonna take a little bit of a detour around. So we're gonna actually climb up part of the ladder to get to where our good old friend Mr. Machine Gun is. But we're not gonna go all of the way up just yet. What we're gonna do instead is go to this little path that beast was on. So that beast is a little bit of a hint that you can actually get down here. And we can get back into that room we just were, and if I'm not mistaken, there should be a place that we can do something fun. If I remember where it is. Is it here? Nope. Yeah, there it is. Perfect. And you can see we can actually light this whole thing up so we can get a little bit of light in the place, so it's pretty awesome. I like it. And we also get some access to some fun items. I think for safety, just because we have a decent amount of souls and I do need them, I don't feel like doing a lot of grinding in this area forever and all eternity. So I'm going to do the safe way. And then we'll come back up here and we'll get all the items. Just because if you fall down at the wrong points here, you are just done. Done, done, done. So we're not going to do that. We'll go the normal intended route, right? Nice, easy, chill, calm playthrough today. Ha ha ha. May as well get the item though, right? We'll take it. Some more antidotes. Perfect. So the bigger guys, the ones that are a little bit taller than you, those guys, if they hit you, will cause slow poisoning. Indicating that there is also a stat called fast poisoning. So that's good. Because who doesn't want more poison if they could? Get some of this. And because they screamed, you could see that we probably are going to have a couple of beasts that come up. We did burn a lot of them by throwing that fire onto that thing in the middle. We'll take a look at what that is as well as we go. But this area is much, much easier now that we have that fire there, because I think it killed about 3 or 4 of them. And you can still see we've got a big amount that are still alive, and these guys are the big ones, so they'll do damage to you and poison you. So hey, perfect, right? Get that one gone. Get that one gone. Oh, there's another one somewhere. There you are. They're just hiding on me now. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Some more Madman's knowledge. I can see why. This place is just crazy, I tell ya. And look at what we've got up here. So we've got this beast-ish thing. You can see its skull just looks terrifying. Looks like it's being like flayed from the inside out. And because it's in a church, it looks like these guys were like worshiping this thing. So a little crazy. They're going a little crazy here. It's always good. You always want a little bit of crazy. And we get a nice altar and Ritual Blood 1. So this is a really neat item. Material used in a holy chalice ritual. One of the basic ingredients used to satiate a holy chalice is this incoagulable blood. When all is melted in blood, all is reborn. So like it says, this is a material used for chalice rituals. For those of you that aren't familiar, chalice rituals are basically the second side of this game. So it is tied to the main story, but it's basically its own separate thing along with it. It's the part where a lot of the dungeons in it can be procedurally generated. So their theory was that, hey, people love running through all of Dark Souls dungeons and everything, but, you know, eventually you always learn how the layouts are and it gets boring or anything else that way for some people. So they wanted to make something that was procedurally generated and basically be able to give you that new, fresh experience every time that you played Bloodborne if you wanted to try that out. Only problem with it is the procedural generation isn't the greatest, from my opinion. A lot of the rooms, there isn't that many different styles of rooms that can be combined. So you do see just like repeated room after room after room, even if it's different enemy layout in it. But we'll show at least one of the Chalice dungeons, so you'll see a little bit more what I mean when we get over to that. But I do like how it does have some really, really good lore tie-ins, so we'll definitely talk about the lore on it as we get to it. And that side of it is really, really cool. But we'll go up here. Nice long ladder ascent. Doo-doo-doo. Just climbing up the world one step at a time. And we're going to unlock a shortcuts. Love the shortcuts in this game. So this whole area, and almost all of the areas in Bloodborne, usually only have max 1 or maybe 2 lampposts, and almost the whole areas are just cut out by shortcuts, so this is definitely a nice one. You don't have to fight those gajillion enemies every single time now. And now I also feel almost confident enough that we can try and get the items that are up in these rafters, which are a little bit tricky to get, to be honest with you. They're a little mean, some of them, but we'll try our best. That's all we can do, right? So let's get the first one. The first one's easy, so hey, get a freebie item. And of course, for those that have played any of the Souls games before, you need to have a rafter section on each one, because what fun would a game be if it didn't have a rafter section? So some madman's knowledge. Clearly you have to be a madman if you're trying to attempt walking on these rafters on top of a giant flaming carcass with beasts below you screaming at you, some holy blood that's mixed in for it for good fun. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. And this is a pain in the butt, because you're gonna have to do a jump that's not an easy jump to get. Forget if you have to jump from here or if it lets you jump from the other one. I think it lets you jump from the other one, right? I think so. Yeah. So I can get here easily enough, and that's exciting. We can pick up this item. Some more Molotov cocktails. Not a bad item to get, right? But here's for the professionals of the bunch. Nope. That's a big fail. Thank God that falling damage does so little. I'm gonna cut back and we're gonna try it again. There we go. Okay. And we got it this time. So our reward for making that interesting jump is we get a nice dead body along with a bloody messenger head bandage. That's odd. It's a really cool, looks like a little bit different character model as well for a dead body, so that's neat. So lots of fun to be had there. Let's get to the bottom and then we'll read that description. Hop on down, roll our way through. Yeah, perfect. And it is a key item, so this is the Bloody Messenger Head Bandage, accessory worn by messengers playing make-believe. Accessory adored by naive messengers imitating the bandages of Scourge victims, unaware of their meaning. The splatters of blood give it a particularly nice touch. The inhabitants of the stump appear to have an interest in adornment. Why not let them be happy and revel as babes? So this is, I swear to God, this must just be Miyazaki having a great time. Because basically what this is an accessory. So you've seen the messengers that have the tombstones around them so you can see people's deaths or player notes. You can actually customize those. So let's see, these guys have hats on. These guys have hats on too. But we can also make them have these bloody messenger bandages. I wonder if there is one. Yeah, this one's like pots, so you can kind of add your own unique style to them. It's a really, really obscure mechanic, but we'll show how it's done a little bit later on when we get back to the Hunter stream sometime. Probably not this episode, but we will do it, I promise, yeah. But either way, let's continue on. So we've unlocked a shortcut. We've got an item over there. Our only way to go now is to keep on pressing on through this direction. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. Oops. by this direction, I mean we're gonna go... Where is the door that I cannot find? There we go, right here, jeez. We're gonna go down this way and see what else this area has to offer us. Get some nice, a little bit more nice buildings and some fog, so hey, that's a good start, right? Oh, and look, a nice hiding enemy. Just taking a little snooze by the fog. Oh, and there's another one. So again, just like the rest of this area, basically the only thing you have to watch out for is just getting ganged up on by like 3 or 4 of these guys. Otherwise, it's pretty smooth sailing if you know where they are and what they're gonna do. Oh look, our friend. Wah. So close, yet so far. That's fine. We don't need a Molotov to kill you. You're not that difficult anymore. I like how this is like the most intimidating enemy in the first bit of the game, and already in like the 3rd area they're throwing it back in as just a regular enemy. That's awesome. I forget if there's an item down here. I don't think so. Oh yeah, there is. Sweet. So get some doors. We can't actually open them from this side, but that does indicate that we're going to come back here a little bit later in the game. So that's nifty neato. Get some blood shards, why not? And now, oh, look, another one. Because they always like coming in pairs. Well, not always, but more often than not. They're team players, usually. Get a bloodstone shard from him? Sure, why not? And we get, so now we're basically on the bottom of this area. What's really cool is you can see those 2 bridges right up there. That top one is where we fought the cleric beast. That bottom one is where we actually went to then fight Father Gascoigne. So you can actually see all of Yharnam from where we are, which is really, really cool. I love that. The fact this is a real world area. So that's pretty nifty neato. Oh god. And another jump scare because they can. Love that one. I was playing with a friend a while ago, and they just scared the crap out of him. They were being all cocky and confident, and this thing just jumped out, and I swear they wet themselves a little. But par for the course, we get a couple more beasts as we're going along here, so some fun excitement there. Up and up we go. There we go. Maybe there was someone here. May as well pick this up though. Some more bloodstone shards. So by now you should be able to at least upgrade your weapon to +2, if not +3. I think we've got probably 8, so we might be able to upgrade this to +3 if we wanted to. Don't know if we're going to. I forget if I want to keep this or if we're going to get a skill-based weapon pretty soon. But we'll see. Either way, we're actually unlocking another shortcut right here. So this is, if you may recall, that area that we just went down to get that, to get those blood shards from, they call them walking nightmares, they're like the crystal lizards of this game. But now we've got a nice shortcut right from the get-go of the bonfire, which is pretty neat. So, I think, what should we do? I think we're gonna end it there for the day. And then next episode, we're going to be having some fun exploring the rest of Old Yharnam, and depending on how things go, maybe we'll get through a little bit of another area as well. But hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you guys did, please smash that like button or subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys next time in another episode of Bloodborne.